There's nothing more gratifying than taking a worn out hip and knee, putting a brand new one in, and it's good to go. It's fixed. We fixed that problem. Or the hip is broken, I fix it back together, and they're up the next day. I just an hour ago fixed a broken hip, and I expect her up walking tomorrow with it. And so I like to fix things and actually get that result. It's a lot of gratification to see that happen. Patients do surprise me once in a while, and it's the ones that I kind of spend a long time talking to them that, this is big surgery we're talking about. This is going to hurt bad, and you're going to have a tough time here to come through it. And I love it when they make me look wrong, and they come through, and it's like, boom, it's like nothing ever happened. And they're back on their feet and said, see, I showed you, and then we both win, actually, and laugh about it afterwards. All the time, patients are teaching me what it is that makes them run, what it takes to keep moving and keep going. And there's a huge variety of patients of how they tolerate different things. And so, for example, sometimes the little lady who's got this horrible bad hip or something, or knee, and can't hardly get around, it doesn't take much in the way of my surgery to make them better, to keep them going. And so those things can make a huge difference for those people. I'm constantly evaluating new parts coming out, but I find most of the time I'm looking at older things and older techniques and saying, is something really better now than it was? And there's been gradual few improvements. In fact, one of the best things I've done over time is look back at older techniques and said, this is a good, reliable technique, and it works well. And so finding that, and there's an example in hip replacements, where the modern way is to put this thing without cement or glue in there. Well, cement and glue works very well, very reliably, and I started doing more of those quite a few years ago, and it wasn't something I'd actually learned in training. I had to learn the technique carefully and study it, and once I learned it and mastered it, it's like, this really works. And now I teach at the university, and I was up there today in conference, and they kind of laughed and smiled when they showed the case where they'd used cement, and said, yeah, it's rubbing off, and it works, and it works well, and it's good to know techniques out there. Sometimes it's better not to be the one out in the forefront, but the one using the technique that's going to work best for that individual patient who comes in. UHC is a very good community hospital to take care of the patients with what we have here. The people that come here have certain problems, certain diseases, certain injuries, certain conditions. For the vast majority of problems, of orthopedic problems, that are things that we take care of. So a worn out hip and knee is something that we take care of all the time and do well. And we have a sports doctor here that takes care of those sports injuries. And we have a hand specialist, and we cover that. And it's a great facility. We're lucky. It's a relatively new building, a new facility. It's wide open. It's bright. It's clean. There are great people here that, as a team, do a great job taking care of their patients. Choosing a doctor is a very difficult thing, and a lot of people, you ask around. It's one good way, and when you ask around, yes, we've had a good result. We've had good care there, and I think you're going to find that if you ask here. And people are happy of what they've had taken care of, and we're glad to take care of them.